Okay, do we hear each other? Yeah? Oh, it's all good. Okay, first and foremost, I promise no balloon sitting in there several minutes. My name is Pavle, and I joined the company on the 24th of April 2017, so it's a little above 8 months. And I came here from Avast Incorporated, which many of you probably know is the industry giant when it comes to online security, safety. They started as the antivirus company based, of course, in Czech Republic. And what we've learned there and what we've developed there, first and foremost, is that customer-oriented style of communication and doing business. What we understood is that it's not enough to just solve issues or provide solutions to the problems, but it's also important to understand how people feel about the company, how do they feel about the product. This is now going to sound like I stole all the presentations from these great speakers before me. However, I promise you this was written at least 3 weeks ago. Anyway, when I came here, what was really interesting for me is the way this company is doing business, how close and up and personal you can be with people who actually use these services, who are, they're out there in the field, who are part of the network. And these events are an amazing thing because you can meet everybody, you can solve the issues right here on the spot and, make everybody happy, which is, of course, our job. Now, a lot of companies are going into that customer comes first. The customer is the most important in the whole business. We are oriented to the customer, to the happiness of our clients and users. What does that mean? In theory, there are two, and I'm going to oversimplify it right now, there are two major approaches one can take, and yes, the remote is here. Yeah, there are two major approaches all the businesses can take. First is basically a simple approach that says, what does the customer need? This is something we call the order taker approach. This is something we also see on an everyday basis. I go to the bakery, I want a tuna sandwich. Hello, I want a tuna sandwich, that's $2, here you go, that's it. So we take the orders, we pay for them, we go on with our lives. However, when it comes to more complex and different products, such as ours are, we do something different. We say and we ask a question, what is the customer's story? What is the customer's catchphrase? How do our users feel about the product itself? What do they want to achieve? What is the story behind the whole thing? And through that approach, we receive a feedback from people because people do want to open up. They do want to share what they feel, how they feel about things, what they want to be fixed or, made different. They want to provide the idea, etc. Now, in Dubai, we talked briefly about it, and what I want to explain now is, when it comes to feedback, I talked about how much we appreciate everybody's feedback here from the whole organization, and now very briefly, what do we actually do with it? So when we receive the idea, through our ticketing system or live chat system or live, if you will, we work in a customer service center. We work very closely with our development team. And what we do is that we create a list of all the possible ideas and improvements that actually came from the field, and then we prioritize them. What we can absolutely promise is we don't not ignore any idea. Okay? We do prioritize them by the availability of the resources in order to achieve them and so on and so forth. Also, yeah, well, that's essentially about it. Now, very briefly on the ticketing system, we talked about that in Dubai very briefly, but again, to repeat, we provide support through two channels, so that's email and live chat. What that does is that we use the tool that converts both emails and live chats into something we call tickets. Through ticketing system, we have the full history available on every customer contact we received. That is why, and I'm going to emphasize that now, even though we absolutely understand that the network works in a certain way, where you have your sponsors, where you have your uplines, where you have people you trust, people who are important because you joined the network, most probably also because of them and not the product already. We are still always available, and everyone can feel absolutely free to reach us and to ask a question and to require help, because that's our raison d'etre, as they say in France. That's the reason we exist in first place as well. And of course, feedback, as described, is managed through the ticketing system as such. Okay. Sorry, yeah. Okay, moving on very quickly. One of the questions people were asking in the last couple of weeks, really, maybe even months, is what is going to happen with the customer service after the external exchange? Now, the answer is a bit less metaphysical than the one about life and death, of course. But the idea is that we will always be here. We will always be here for everybody as long as DAS as an ecosystem exists, because we are the integral part of it. And as many people before me already explained, we are all part of that one big team. For example, we do provide, standard customer service, but we got NetLeaders USA team, which is into education. And we all share the same philosophy, that reaching hand that is there to help, educate, and of course provide a solution. So the answer is absolutely yes. Even though after the external exchange, we will provide customer service, I hope in a better way from now, of course. And now, briefly, a couple of updates. As we said, in Dubai, we started the office in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Now, this team is 8 people strong. They already started providing help for customers from Chinese, Mandarin, and Vietnamese language, and mostly to KYC issues. Of course, that team now is going full-time into all the troubleshooting elements and procedures our users are experiencing. So now we can say that we are providing support in languages such as English, Polish, Japanese, Spanish, Serbian, Mandarin, and of course, Vietnamese. We will add more languages, depending, of course, on the market growth worldwide. And that's it. No balloon popping, I promise you. Thank you for your time.